This video, I'm going to be reviewing a client that we took from $200K a month to $1 million a month and show you everything and how we solve every single bottleneck that they were going through, because to be honest with you, they were going through a couple distinct problems. So I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly how we solved every single bottleneck, the SOPs, the Google Sheets we use, the graphics, the strategy. So you can literally take this and copy it into your business today. For context, they were stuck in $200K a month for a couple of months up to a year. But really, after helping hundreds of businesses just like them, I see these issues daily at almost every single business level. So from those making $10K a month to those making $1 million a month and everyone in between, honestly. You see, they had literally thought about changing their entire business model, selling the business, doing new funnels. They even hired agencies, content agencies, ad agencies, freelancers and contractors, you name it. But nothing was clicking and they were just burning through a lot of cash. But then I came in and we were able to fix these things. Lead gen, content strategy, paid media, ads, internal operations. And this is exactly what got them to $1 million a month. They had a good product and they just needed to scale. So I came in, put a game plan in place and identified 3 main problems that they had. And I was able to go in, fix those problems. And here's specifically how we went about doing those things. The 3 biggest constraints they had were installing attention, monetization, and operation systems across the board. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and run you through everything that we did so you can take this strategy into your business today. Okay, so this is exactly the entire system we put in place that took this company from $200,000 a month to $1 million a month. And again, we're gonna go through a bunch of stuff here, guys. I want to make sure a couple things are on the record. I'm gonna go really fast on this because if I spend at least 2 or 3 minutes on each trying to explain, this will be like a 3-hour long training. I don't want that to happen. I want this to be quick and easy so that you can pause, take notes, come back to it, and just make sure you get everything very quickly. Again, this is going to be the entire systems that we put in. This is going to be a training. What we do here is basically there's a 3-circle theory that I've developed after helping hundreds of different businesses with this. As I've said before, the 3 different areas, 3 different circles, if you want to name it, is number 1 is going to be attention or content, and then number 2 is going to be liquidating that content, and then lastly is going to be the operations behind all of it. As you can tell, that one is like the longest one because we go really much in depth. Now, because there is a wide array of different businesses, those making, 10K and those making $1 million a month. Some of this stuff might not pertain specifically to you, but you can take in every level of business that you're in, you can take something and apply to them, see a lot of different changes and just success from this. So to start and first off, again, I want to keep this quickly because you're probably a busy CEO and you have other stuff to do. Again, the first thing that I came in and really made sure was good and applied was content and attention systems. You can be the best restaurant in the world, Michelin stars, whatever. But if nobody knows about you and there's no attention, then how can you drive people towards your business? So that's the first thing that we really fixed. It's a couple of different areas that I make sure everything's correct in the first place. And you want to do this as well with you. First and foremost, obviously the most important thing is having a really good golden offer. A lot of business owners assume that they have a good offer. Most of them don't. And that's just the reality of it, unfortunately. So the first things that you have to understand is not to get into the offer dynamics and offer mechanics is offer categorization. You have to be very clear in what you offer, where is a hybrid offer, done for you, done with you, do it yourself, whatever. You want to make sure that's done and that's clear for your audience. Perfect client exercise is a very simple thing that we applied where we take the data from your clientele and we basically make a perfect client. This is not like that stupid exercise that you see everywhere that says like, oh my God, your ideal client, what magazines do they read? Where do they hang? What's their favorite coffee? That's just stupid. That doesn't work anymore. We are in 2025 or whenever you're watching this video, that doesn't work. So what we do is something different. This is called perfect client exercise. We take all the data and make sure we understand who's your best customer, who pays you the most, who does all this stuff. And based on that and the demographics and psychographics, we create basically just really good dialed in messaging. Their dreams and desires, and we want to make sure your current offer positioning. This gives us something that's called offer strength and clarity. Under the assumption that you have a strong offer and that's validated and you have testimonials and everything, then this, after we have that, which is the foundation of everything, we then look at other little things like your profile stuff and like how you have a good profile pictures, your value prop in your bio that it's not generic and it's not like everyone else's. An intentional link basically means your link's bio. It's not just a link tree with a bunch of stuff. It's just something that's just intentional, right? For me, at the moment of this recording, it'll probably be this recording. And you want to call out your ideal client persona, which you get from your perfect client exercise. From this, we basically came out with a metric called offer acceptance. It's very simple. It's just how many people on your page, how many people are clicking your link. It's not a end all be all metric, but it tells us how we're doing overall, which is okay. So under the assumption that you have a strong profile based on offer acceptance, meaning people are clicking, other metrics as well. I didn't include everything, but like CTR, views, reach, etc., which they're somewhat important. Under the assumption that we have offer, profile picture, profile optimization, we then start doing intentional content. We cannot do intentional content before we have this. We need offer, we need a good, somewhat good MVP of a profile, and then we dive into intentional content. I'm gonna breeze through this because it's already going too long. Content on awareness level. So if we jump into the awareness levels, this is a concept from a book called Breakthrough Advertising. It's literally back there. It's this black book right here. This one. It's by Eugene Schwartz, and he talks about market sophistication, and there's all the stages. We want to make sure you create content on every single stage, just because we want to make sure that if somebody's unaware of a problem that they have, they come in and then you educate them, nurture them through content and through education, basically, and make them problem aware so they understand they have a problem, so that they could keep coming back to your profile, so that they feel like they're fixing the problem. And then through your content and nurturing on different strategies, then they're aware of the solution, then they're aware that you give the solution, and then essentially they're just ready to buy. This sounds super easy. It's simple, but it's not easy, because you have to be able to have good content and be able to place all of these things into, different buckets of like, how do we speak on a solution aware prospect on a top of funnel type of content, and then just be able to make sure that you create all these different buckets into your profile or whatever it is that you do, whether it's IG, whatever. Okay. Take a stance content, which is content that's bold. For example, I do a lot of bold content where I speak about how I hate or don't like gurus that are just like, install this shiny object and your business is going to be fixed once and for all. That doesn't work. You're saying all this boring stuff is what really works and takes everything into account. It's a very holistic approach. So take a stance content is really good. Personal stories, obviously people want to connect with you. Lead gen, obviously we want to make sure we grab emails, we grab some data, and do just doing lead generation. I also call this hand raisers, simple approach. Case studies, obviously people want to know like you're good at what you do. For example, in my IG, you'll see like little bubbles that they say client wins, and you literally have to take 30 minutes to scroll through all of them. Like there's so many wins from my clients, and it basically makes people that land on my page like, oh my God, this guy knows what he does. Yes, I do. Thousands of case studies. Consistent content plan, make sure you have a strategy, repurposing strategy. For example, something that I'm doing is I'm testing so many things on trial reels, and then whatever kind of pops, I repost it on my IG, and it gets a lot of views, which is pretty cool. And then obviously top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom funnel. And something you can do for tools to like schedule stuff like that is Trello, Asana, or Monday. Seeing what's your engagement rate and plan. There's some free software out there that you can use to track this, by making sure that you have a strategy in place. And then finally, under the assumption that you're posting consistently through all awareness levels with a clear offer, and you're repurposing some stuff and you're getting some conversations, then we do some measurement, we do some tracking. Obviously, you want to understand how many posts per week per platform, how many accounts reach. Growth rate is in italics, like it's not really something that we're super hard in, because like amount of followers doesn't necessarily mean amount of cash or amount of revenue. This is why you see a lot of people with a lot of followers and broke, or you see people like, for example, I've had a couple clients under 10K followers making 30, 40, 50, 60K. And for example, this client that I helped go from 200K to $1 million a month in revenue and cash collected, they were like at 7K followers. 7K followers. They were not growing fast at all. They were not. They really were not growing fast at all. Average comments per bottom of funnel. We want to measure that. We want to measure if your messaging is hitting. We want to measure if people are commenting. And if they are, what type of posts are they commenting the most? What's the most specific pain that people are like, yo, I want that. That we measure, and then that's how we have a metric of like, okay, this is working really well. New conversation started, especially if you're doing ads. How many people are clicking every time you do a CTA, which is important. Cost per lead or conversation if you're running ads. Conversion rate of followers to lead, meaning a follower is not a lead. Okay, so right now you have, unfortunately, you have a lot of gurus out there just copying a strategy that's running follower ads on Instagram. It's fine. It gets you followers. It can work for some people. So for some, it doesn't work. For some, you get really bad followers. You're being sold this idea that you can get a lot of followers, and it's like an ego stroke of like, yeah, you're going to get a lot of followers. That doesn't mean anything. A follower is not a lead. You don't own your follower list on Instagram. If your account gets banned, that's all. You're building an entire asset on a sand foundation. Follower ads can work if done correctly, but it should not be the shiny object that you should be chasing right now. I want to make that clear. Conversion rate of followers to lead, because followers are not lead. Followers are just people who are just hitting follow. That's it. Make sure you tackle all those things, please. Then after we have some content, after we have some attention, we have that C part of the CMO framework. Again, it's content monetization operations. We got C. And by the way, parentheses, all of these work in conjunction. They're not silos. They all work at the same time, and they all help each other, because when one grows, the other one grows, and the other one grows. Everything's just connected. So I don't want you to feel like one has to go first before the other one. That's not the case. We move into attention liquidation. I'm going to try and be quicker here. No amount of attention matters if you don't know how to turn that into real paying clients with a clear funnel. Precisely why a lot of followers don't mean anything. A lot of views don't mean anything. Like they don't. I promise you. You have to make sure you understand how to monetize this stuff. If you don't, you're gonna be left behind, and it's gonna really suck because you're having these feelings of like, I have a lot of views and it feels great, but views don't equal cash. Likes don't equal cash. Followers don't equal cash. You have to understand how to monetize it. So when you have attention, you have to make sure that your sales argument, which is a fancy way of saying offer, has some sort of market attractiveness. So people want to have some sort of, they want to reach you. They want to have this offer. They want to have this promise that you're saying. The way we do this is that we have different offer exposure mechanisms. Again, going back to different tactics and funnels and those things that might work for a couple of months and they don't. This is why I designed offer exposure mechanisms everywhere. We had SMS, email, Instagram, Facebook, ads, podcast, YouTube, everywhere. We were everywhere. Why? Because our sales argument was very strong, and because the sales argument basically stemmed from this and understanding our client persona and who we needed to help and who needed our help the most. So you have sales argument and we have offer exposure mechanisms. You got social media, emails, newsletters, sales funnels, VSLs, call funnels, outbound and inbound, cold and outbound, strategic sales assets, and webinars. So for example, right now, all of my clients are running social media. Not all of them are running emails, but I help them with that. This specific client, through all the funnels that I've built, all the opt-ins that I built, the amount of emails that we've sent based on everything we've built was like 90 million emails. It was crazy. But we were combining everything. We needed to have exposure. So we did social media, obviously, email newsletters. Now for funnels, so sales funnel, VSL funnels, call funnels, they all can work. You just have to know how to do them. You have to know how to do conversion rate optimization, A/B testing, so that you understand that you know what to test in a sales calls funnel, and basically based on metrics, what to test and what things to change to see what's working and what's not. And then outbound and inbound, everyone's doing this. This is when like you get a new follower and then you reach out, or when somebody you have a good amount of followers and you do some outbound and inbound already. Call and outbound, I have one client doing this. It's just having the knowledge of understanding what works in all of these different strategies and having the insights that work, not just a tactic that just doesn't work for works for 1 or 2 months. Everyone jumps on it. It never works. And then everyone's like, fish in the water, like, what are we doing now? So having that insight is super important. It's not just like building a Frankenstein of like, hey, I saw a cool video about this on YouTube, so I'm going to copy that. But then I saw this email that I like and he talked about that, so I'm going to copy this. But then I saw this Twitter thread talking about like this, and then I'm combining. No, it's like you have to have somebody with you that knows all this stuff and that has run all of this with you. So like what we did with this client was we did social media, email, we did call funnels and sales asset funnels strategically. We did trainings and a bunch of everything, right? So in this, you have to have and understand that you want to understand what brings more sales. So sales conversion per mechanism, the revenue dictates the mechanism you're going to be building on. The economics dictates that mechanism. The skill that you have dictates the mechanism. For example, a lot of people want to jump into webinars, but you have no idea how to run a webinar that converts. You have no idea what the structure should be. Not only the structure, but how do you get people to attend in the first place? And what happens after the webinar ends? What kind of like emails do you have set in stone so that this actually works? I promised I wasn't going to explain everything, but I can't help it, man. Like I really want to make sure this is very clear. So skill dictates mechanism, team dictates mechanism, because, it takes a team to have a good webinar. It takes a team to do outbound. It takes a good team, a very good copywriter to do VSL, very good copywriter to do emails and newsletters. Social media, you can do it on your own, it's whatever. You have to measure conversion rates and A/B tests. Like you have to. Lead nurturing process, obviously you have to be very good at direct response marketing. Right now, we're in a content-driven era where everyone's doing content. You just have to be better at doing content than everyone else. You have some sort of DM scripts, because essentially you also want to hire people to do this for you. So have some sort of SOPs, email inbox sequences, and lead pipelines. So for this client that I helped scale $2 million a month, we did everything. We had DM scripts, email indoctrination sequences. I think that DM inbox sequence that I wrote for them was like 14 emails. It was overkill, but it was doing good. It was just case studies and a bunch of stuff. Lead pipelines, obviously you want to measure that, cold, warm, hot, booked a call, didn't book a call, whatever, all these things, right? At any point in time when you like understand which one's doing well, you can add liquidation synergist, which is just a fancy way of saying anything that just increases volume. Nowadays, everyone's boosting post, but a lot of people just don't know how to do the strategy behind it. So everyone's just like wasting money and paying Zug a lot of money, which great, or, whatever. So liquidation synergies, it's just a fancy way of saying there's increased volume. After this, then we can do some sort of automation, outbound or automation, whichever. You can do both. With this client, we did both. We did direct offers, which is just saying people, hey, book here so that you can get on a call. Manual booking, meaning on DMs to say, hey, what's the best time we can meet, whatever, manual booking. Landing page offer, nurture sequences. You start to see what responses are getting, which of these systems or places or things get the best responses. Then you have to have some sort of inbox management, or best responses, meaning which one are you gonna spend most time in. Then inbox management, obviously you're not gonna, after you scale this, you can't do it all yourself. You have to have a team that does that for you. Success of this specific area is, determined by offer strength, which is obvious. Scripts, what follow-up methodology you have for which specific channel as well. And then your skills in copywriting. And then we have kind of this offer flywheel that it's optional. So you have an entry level low ticket, then you have a medium ticket. So it could be courses, do it yourselves, like PDFs, it could be freebies, whatever. Medium ticket could be one-time offers, back-end offers, downsell from a high ticket. There's many things you can do. I don't want to go into it. Then high ticket, obviously you can do VSL, you can do a cold funnel, a webinar, do high ticket. You can do ascension model, which is basically all of this integrated into one specific strong offer. Done with you, hybrid, or done for you. You can do an offer flywheel. This is optional. Success in here is determined by, your deliverability systems, meaning how are you delivering the offer and the promise. Ascension model economics, take offer, so how many people are taking the offer from here to here, etc., etc. And then offer logic, it just has to make sense. The reason why somebody's going from entry level to medium ticket, basically it means it has to be logical. Man, you can pause and read this. I want to make this video short. I don't want to make this super long. You want to make sure you're measuring all of this. You want to make this stuff quicker, because essentially you're going to want to hire a team that does this for you. And if you have all the metrics and you're tracking the things that really matter, you understand what's working in your business, what's not working in your business, and you're not wasting time and money on things that don't work. And even worse, you're not wasting time on people, agencies, gurus that are saying things that just sound nice, but in reality, they just don't work. And the way you avoid that, and the way you avoid years and years of desperation because shit doesn't click, is by understanding this stuff here and understanding your economics in your offer and your liquidation systems, which is literally just all of this. This specific liquidation process took that company from $200K a month to $1 million a month. And all the clients that are right now implementing this inside of my mentorship program are crushing it. Why? Because they understand where they need to really dial in, what levers, what buttons to push, etc. And they're just crushing it because they're getting a bunch of paying clients. Now, what happens after this? We go to, I'm going to fly through this. Operations and backend systems. This is the boring side of business. But if you want to have a really successful business and you're an advanced business, you understand how important this is. Implementations of various systems for maximum outputs per input. This is the behind the scenes systems, processes, and structures that ensure a business can scale and run smoothly without burnout. How to be omnipresent in your company without having to be in the company, but you're just overseeing everything because you have the operations and the backend systems to do so. These are all the things I built for this company that basically just made them print and help a lot of people. You want to have content systems, so a method of research, content ideation, content pipeline. You can use Trello and Asana. You have editors, so you can edit it yourself. Q&A, so it's quality assurance. You want to revise them, obviously, especially if you have a content agency. Publish them. If you're doing redistribution, you want to have some sort of SOPs for people that you hire to do redistribution, and then everything just kind of starts and goes over again. And then you want to have some sort of feedback. Look, what's working, what's not working, understanding the metrics behind that, like we spoke about here somewhere, whatever. After we have content systems, we have application process. Again, this is super simplified. You can have some sort of application on Typeform, some sort of calendar page. A lot of people use Go High Level. Warning, attention, if you're paying attention, please attention to me now. A lot of gurus out there are saying that they're going to build you a multi-million-dollar software and system to do this application for you. This is just Go High Level. What they do is they take Go High Level, they white label it, and they sell it to you. Go High Level is $97 a month. Last time I checked, you can do this on your own. Literally just use this. Don't get held by a contract from a company that promises a lot of things and they don't deliver, and that's horrible. So you have a calendar page, a thank you page, and then this thank you page can have 2 videos. Video 1 is just confirmation, congratulations, thank you for booking, next steps. A video 2 is just an overview of your entire offer. This is what we do, this is who we help, and we're excited to have you here. I'm super simplifying everything. Other systems, automatic Slack message, upgrading. If you have a lot of volume inside of in your company, you want to make sure you're not scheduling all the people into your calendar, because your calendar is finite, not infinite. Hopefully I said that right. So some sort of upgrading so you can DQ people, triage people, and just send people to your booking calendar right directly. Email confirmation with reply. That's obvious. Okay. Things you want to check and track so you can make adjustments as needed. And then reminders to the person so that you don't have a really high not show rates. Sales systems, again, simplified. There's a tracking sheet here, but that's just for my clients, I believe. So I'm not going to share that. Sales assets. So obviously sales assets are just freebies, PDF, webinars, free classes, etc., which leads to conversations for people who want these sales assets. But then again, you want to have some sort of scripting, setting, pitching so that you can convert these people. And then they go back through your booking process, which is basically this one right here. They go through this booking process. So everything just connects, as you can see. It's pretty cool. Post-booking system. So you want to have reminders and you want to have this was a private training for clients. A show up rate optimizer, which is something that I show my clients that, for example, one of my clients, his show up rate before I was helping him was like 30%. After doing this, it was like 65%. So obviously he scaled the crap out of the company, which is awesome. And thanks to that, he was able to move to Dubai because he was helping a lot of people, making a lot of money, and he understood these concepts that I'm teaching you. And then obviously closing, you want to close people. Feedback loop, you want to measure everything like people who close, no close, offer rates, etc., all this boring stuff. Payment plans and pitching, then you do handoff to your team. So that's very important. You want to do sales teams, handoff to customer success team, and then you have some sort of follow-up process. Very simple. After the handoff, you want to have some client systems. Everyone out there and their mother are just saying get more leads, get more clients, but nobody's teaching you how to keep clients and make sure that they get results so that they're happy and they don't feel like you're scamming them, because that's horrible. Nobody wants that. I've been scammed a bunch of times by gurus, and I'm pretty sure you've been also scammed, and that's horrible. We don't want that. That sucks. So have a really good onboarding process. Have really good activation points so people feel like they're already getting benefit and value. TTV is time to value. So you want to make sure as soon as somebody swipes the card because they trust you, you give them some sort of value as soon as possible. You have some sort of program delivery, and based on the program delivery and the feedback that they're giving you, you do something that's called offer refinement process. It's very simple. You just take what your clients are telling you and you make your offer better consistently. So over time, your offer just gets better and better. And then after they do your program, they graduate, which is awesome. Everyone is happy. Continuation of backend offer. Make sure you have a backend offer and make that a testimonial, which then you can include into your content or even into your sales booking asset. Everyone likes that. Feedback loop based on everything they're saying. Oh my God, I told you there's a lot of things, man. Oh, I forgot to tell you like what you want to, you can pause and take notes. This is what you want to track. And then this is what you want to track here. And this is what you want to track here. Basically, this is just SOPs to hire, automate and grow. So you want to have an audit of existing processes. You want to collect, you want to edit this process and organize them. You want to distribute them to key players in your team. And you want to do a 3-step process or a 3-step SOP for training people, which is basically you record yourself doing the task, you do the task live, you empower them and use them, and you gather feedback, and then you just change it if there's anything to be changed. Implement across the board in your company. You have weekly meetings, you optimize to buy back your time. This is basically what it means, because essentially you don't want to be too much in the business. You want to be on the business and you want to hire people who are smarter than you that are doing things so they can run the systems for you. Again, this is all a machine that works together. Feedback loop, as always, too, because we want to make sure we improve the company. I'm not going to dive too much into company structure and KPIs. This is something that I helped this client that we helped get to $1 million a month implement, which is pretty cool. I'm just going to show you what it is, but basically, how do you want to structure your company, so to speak? Everyone's different. So this has to be molded specifically to your situation. So head of finance, head of media, head of sales, marketing, CEO, CMO, COO, head of marketing. Like I said, if you want to have a really good CMO that has done all of this for you, they're going to be probably about 20 to 50K a month. And then again, that's a good COO that can run all these operations for you. They can go up towards, 80K a month. I have a current mentor of mine worked for an 8-figure company, and he was the CEO of the company. He was getting paid 80K at that caliber of knowledge. These are the things that you have to have in your company. If you're a serious business owner, you're wanting to scale, and probably feeling like you're stuck. It's probably some of these systems, and it is going to be one of these systems. I'm 100% sure. Head of marketing, client success director, etc. There's a bunch of stuff. Hopefully this was really helpful, but this is literally everything that we plugged inside this company to get them to 200K to $1 million a month. And this is literally everything I do for other people that need my help. We plug into all these systems and it just works tremendously well. Okay, so I told you that was a lot, but now that you have everything and exactly the entire plan to go ahead and do it, you can just go ahead and do it. If you're in a position right now where you're stuck and you're not really growing or just want to grow a little bit faster, I'll actually work with you one-on-one to help you implement all these things in your business right now. This is not a shiny object or a unique mechanism that you can just plug in your business and boom, it's fixed. No, these are the boring things in business I've implemented that have made businesses tens of millions of dollars. And I'll work with you one-on-one. This is not a course. This is not a coaching program. I'll help you find and fix all of these problems immediately. If you want more information, just stop the link down below to book a call directly with me. I'll just put the link down below. I can solve these problems for you the exact same way I solve for them and for all my clients and for over 800 businesses in every vertical you can think of, from fitness, college admissions, mindset, health, mentorship, biz op, marriage, etc. Collectively, all my clients have made well over $30 million in revenue and counting. And I regret I haven't been very good at meticulously tracking all that because it's been way more. But if you want more information on how everything works, I'll just drop a link down below and I'll see you soon.